Alice Film Reviews. This week we are reviewing Manchester by the Sea. The dreary film that it is, but anyway, we'll get on to it. Andrew, what is Manchester by the Sea?
Manchester by the Sea, Ryan, is a disaster movie set in the north of England involving a massive tsunami that sweeps across... No, it's not. It's not. I'm really deliberately misleading you. It is a film...
Fooled you!
It is a film in which Casey Affleck plays a character whose name I can't remember and looks really sad.
Yeah, it's a film about sad people being sad, dealing with sad things.
Yes.
So,
if
that's what we got to look forward to this week.
If we were being more serious, we could say that it's a film about, well, particularly about how men deal with grief.
Yes, male hyper-masculinity and the grieving process that's involved with it.
It involves Star Trek.
Yeah, no. It involves Star Trek and Sharks.
They all have terrible Boston accents.
That's one of the biggest downfalls of film.
Why you'd make a film with quite a lot of talking in and then decide to set it in New England and have people do Boston accents, I will never understand. And
it felt a lot of the time that the script was almost working to get as many A sounds in as possible, just to really hammer home the accent.
I mean, I am allergic to the Boston accent.
With the Sharks. So we'll start off by talking about the story.
The story.
So the story roughly being Casey Affleck's brother.
Ben Affleck. It's not Ben Affleck. Not Ben Affleck.
It would be so good if it was. No. So Casey Affleck's in-film brother has a heart attack, and he has to come rushing back to Manchester by the Sea, this town that he's left due to bad memories and things like that, which is implied to begin with. We're not spoiling anything yet. And it then turns out that his nephew, his teenage nephew, has been left fatherless, and now that Casey Affleck has been left in the will as his guardian.
Yep.
Will he step up to the plate? Will he pussy out and go home? We'll find out during this two-hour film.
I mean, he kind of does both.
He kind of does both. More the latter, really. Anyway, so Andrew, what do you think of the story?
I thought the story was... It was alright. I mean, it sort of made sense.
It was what it is.
It wasn't really a drama. It was sort of one of those sort of slice of life type films. Sort of a lot of nothing. I mean, there was a scene where people were eating breakfast, and it's sort of people are eating breakfast in this film. That's nice. You don't see a lot of people eating breakfast in film, although they did actually eat breakfast in Passengers.
Yes,
you did see that.
They did space breakfast.
Space breakfast.
It's breakfast.
Which is better than ordinary breakfast because it's in space.
But not better than Manchester by the Sea. Anyway, don't watch Passengers. Moving on. still hammering that one home.
Yeah.
So I think the story, it's a very real film. It's very, as we've said, slice of life. And the focus on mundanity is one thing we should talk about. Is there is a lot of stuff that is focusing on the mundane that in any other kind of context of a drama or romance is not anywhere near the genre, but in that style of filmmaking would not be there. So very early on, as Casey Affleck goes to the hospital, there's a lot of stuff about, okay, what paperwork do I need to fill out? Can I have his
Where are his personal belongings? Oh, you've lost the plastic bag with his personal belongings. That's okay, I'll just stand here and look sad for a bit.
Because he's good at that.
He is really good at that.
But, yeah, that's one, I think that's incredibly interesting about the film, is that focus on mundanity, which makes it as good as it is.
Yeah.
Because it is very real,
it's
and it is
not over dramatised, which is a mark to its credit.
Absolutely, and there are moments of humour that reflect that as well.
Yeah.
Like little not jokes, but humorous moments that are just that's what reality is.
Yeah, what happens between the interactions between people.
Absolutely. I mean, there's a fantastic scene when they're about to go to the morgue, and Casey Affleck says to his now orphaned nephew, says, do you want to go in? Or do you want to go home? And he says, no, we'll go. And he goes to open the door to get out, to go into the morgue. Casey Affleck misunderstands, puts his foot on the car, and the car goes forward. And then you get this 2-minute sequence of him shouting, what did you mean?
Why did you start driving off? I was going to get out of the car. It's just, I thought you'd said, go, as in, let's go. So I was going. And let's go see him.
In any other film, that either wouldn't happen, or B, everyone would understand exactly what they meant by "come on, let's go." And it is those moments of humanity, really, very, very human interactions, which is nice.
Yes, those are nice touches, but...
So Casey Affleck's performance, who obviously, as of recording yesterday, won Best Best Male Actor, there it is, Best Actor, at the BAFTAs.
Yes.
So, Casey Affleck's performance.
It's a lot of him looking sad. I mean, there is a bit, this is potentially spoilers, but there's a bit where he's happy on a boat. You've got that to look forward to.
There's a couple of smiles on a boat.
But yeah, aside from that, he is pretty much just...
Casey, you want to go sort out your brother's funeral? You want to go fishing? You want to go drinking and punching people? Yeah, let's go drinking and punching people.
Okay, let's go take a dump in Mother Maggie's shoes.
That's Casey Affleck. So Casey Affleck's performance, I think, is really good.
Do I win an Oscar now?
Just a BAFTA.
Oh.
No, that's unfair. But on BAFTA, Casey Affleck's performance is really enjoyable. I thought it's very human, it's very real, and I think it does deserve the award that it got. However, my only contention is that the character and the performance doesn't kind of give a lot of range.
Yeah.
Which is fine for the context of the film.
What he does in the film, he does very well.
Absolutely.
But before I would mark him down as an excellent actor, I would like to see him do more than just be sad and then smile.
And that might be on us, the fact that we've not seen any of his other things, but I don't know how good an actor he is until I watch him in something that is totally the opposite.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see if, his career is obviously going to skyrocket now. But, after the awards, I'm sure he'll probably pick up an Oscar if he's lucky.
He might even get to play Batman.
He'll take the handle of the more talented Affleck brother. Oh.
He's better at being sad than Ben Affleck.
Yeah, that is true. I don't know. Did you see that that interview?
Whether how that makes you guys feel, and whether it will even affect the film as such.
Well, the interesting thing is that
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again.
One thing that's very clear about the film is its use of slow cinema styles. It's very easy to compare this film to the works of Ozu and to Boyhood, your favourite film.
One of my favourites.
One of your favourites. There's a lot of, as we've said, the focus on mundanity is one of the things, very human. But one thing that really strikes me about the film in terms of the stylistic choices is the cinematography. Now, the cinematography is very basic. There are some very nice shots, that's not to take away from the cinematography at all.
It's very deliberate, the way it is
Absolutely,
shot,
it's lots of kind of mid-shots, wide shots, and lots of long takes. You're an observer.
It's not showy, it's observational rather than
Absolutely.
active.
There are, let's take some sequences where he goes along, he'll pick something up, he'll look at it, and he'll put it down. Now, any other film would do, pick up, match one action shot, back to that, back to the main shot, carry on. Whereas this film will just keep the camera there and just allow the scene to play out as it kind of needs to, as it would realistically.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. But then again, if it was any more exciting, the cinematography
wouldn't work with what
Absolutely.
You don't want to see exciting shots of someone eating breakfast because that's not how life happens.
No.
People just eat breakfast.
No, your life.
Well, how excitingly do you eat breakfast? I don't even eat breakfast.
I do Mission Impossible. I come down over the cereal. So, final thoughts on the film?
Well, I mean, it's all right. I have a little theory that I've been developing over the past little while that it is actually a slightly sexist, misogynistic film. I feel that the female characters don't have the screen time they need to become properly rounded characters. They're sort of stereotypes of the way people think women deal with grief, and it focuses a lot on its two main male characters, who are both arseholes. Quite dislikable characters, really. And it just focuses on them and their grief, and then shows women being, all emotional. It's sort of, look at those women being emotional. They don't understand that the real way to deal with grief is to talk about Star Trek.
And get drunk and punch people.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, I agree with you to an extent. I think that the female characters that are in the film, and the way that they are presented, are very well rounded and very much proper characters fleshed out. I think all the characters in the film are fleshed out and useful for what they are. But I agree with you that there isn't enough female screen time to not instantly kind of portray them as very much background.
I agree with you, none of the characters felt unnecessary. They were all meant to be there, but I just wish instead of seeing two men grieving, we could have seen... I mean, granted, I suppose the film isn't about that, but at the same time, why couldn't...
That is a very different film.
Yeah.
It's very much a hyper-masculinity dealing with it. I think, so with the nephew character, who's a lot more sensitive in the way that he's portrayed in certain scenes, but at the same time, does also have those hyper-masculinity traits.
The womanising bastard sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly, but, so his character's a bit more, maybe it's because he's younger and therefore he's being moulded by his surroundings and Casey Affleck's character. That's why you see these traits of him being...
But I feel like he was already like that before.
That's very true. That is very true.
I don't think Casey Affleck's influence affects that much.
No, I think you're right there, yeah. I don't know, but...
Depends how attentive he was as an uncle, I suppose, before.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think very much of the film, as we both said, having discussed it as we left the cinema, the one thing that really struck us both was that the film very much should have been a play. By the end of it, like, the ending is that kind of typical slow cinema slice of life. There isn't a real denouement closing ending.
It just kind of ends, and it's like, we've shown you that he's sad.
That's all you need.
Credits.
Yeah, which you could argue would work. It could work better in certain ways, but I think as a whole, including the ending, would work so much better on stage. But there are certain things throughout the film which you clearly cannot see. And I mean, the writer and the director is a playwright first and a filmmaker second. Yeah. And that definitely comes across in his work. So it would be interesting to see a stage version.
Yeah.
But I certainly wouldn't buy tickets because I don't want to be depressed.
Maybe if they had David Tennant in it and they weren't from Boston.
Oh, if they're from Scotland, it was just right. That's our next project. Stay tuned for that.
Mr. Tennant, if you're watching, get in touch with not us. We have no stake in this.
David Tennant, you know, our biggest fan. Any other final thoughts, Andrew?
I've just realised we haven't really mentioned the plot twist that happens, which we can't obviously talk about because it's the best.
There is a plot twist.
It happens about halfway through, and it's actually really good. It's the best bit of the film, but it's weird they put it in the middle because you know. Plot twists usually happen near the end.
Yeah.
But it does give you the chance to see, because it's about the development of sort of Casey Affleck's character, so it gives you the chance to see him without context before you know about his backstory, and then afterwards...
His dark and mysterious past.
Both of his parents were shot outside a theatre and, by this thug, and... Oh, wrong brother, wrong.
Amazing! Oh, that's incredible! What a fantastic way to end it. Thanks very much for watching this week's Atlas Film Reviews. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed making it.
Which is quite a lot, so hopefully you're enthusiastic.
Yeah, fun. Next week,
the Lego Batman.
The Lego Batman movie. So as we're both very excited to do this one.
We are.
So, right, see you then!
See you!
Bye!